Alright, so I want to hop on here and just share a quick tip that I figured out. So I've been using the Hammer XT and practicing with it, and up until recently, my practice sessions were limited to about 10 arrows per day. And the reason why is because on the Hammer XT, there's this little knob here, you can see. And that's what you're supposed to pull back on. But when you release that, the leather slides across your fingers, and you might be able to see it. You can start getting a blister. Now I know the lighting's terrible for showing you that, but you can get a blister because of this thing. So you're releasing it, letting it go, and this is sliding out of your hands every single time you release. So there's all that friction from the I don't know if it's a real leather or fake leather. Probably fake. Might not even, yeah, I think it's like fake leather. Anyway, it might be real. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So the point is this wears on your fingers a lot. Now I'm not saying you couldn't, wear it in and maybe it gets softer, but even then you're supposed to change out the bands once in a while, right? You can always get a release, like one of those releases, sort of pinches it, and then you pull the trigger, the little trigger pulls out, just goes, right? You can do that. But then I find that makes reloading slower. And that's also another thing you have to buy. And a good release is $75, so why would you spend $75 on for something that you spent $60 on, right? So maybe even less depending on the combo you got. So what I've come up with is basically, after experimenting with using work gloves, with using all types of different, I used winter gloves. I tried everything to see if I could get something, I could get enough grip. There was a few very dangerous situations where my fingers just, like, even though I was wearing gloves, the gloves and the leather just slipped, and then the arrow went off unintentionally. Luckily, it was always facing towards downrange, so it wasn't a big issue. But I did want to show you this. So right here, duct tape. Now I know one side's smooth, but let me show you something. This is what worked for me. So what I did was I took a nice size strip of duct tape. Doesn't have to be accurate. I'd say it's about 7 inches. About 7 inches. And basically what I did is I took my finger and I just stick it on there like that. See that? And I don't tie it tight because you don't want to cut off the circulation. Just loosely fit it to your finger. Alright, and then once you make that loop over where it's sticking to yourself, right, just pack it down in that spot and bring it back over. Now what this is going to do is this is going to make a sticky, sort of grippy side to the finger. So now there's going to be some limit to your mobility in the hand at this point. And then when you get back around to where basically you're going to be, the top of your finger here is where the leather is going to slide. You can actually fold this over like that. So now when you have to take it off, it's easy enough just to peel it back and peel it off. Now I'm just going to demonstrate. At first it's a bit sticky, so you can always put it against fabric. Just get it covered in fuzz to sort of reduce the friction, but you do want it to be to have some friction, so that stickiness isn't terrible, and that will wear away depending on how long you're shooting with this on for. And I find it doesn't really affect the shots too much. There's enough power in the bands here that when you let go, no problems. So guess I'll just demonstrate it real quick. So you take your arrow, go with it, put it into the whisker biscuit, and load it up. There we go. Okay, and then another trick though is when you're loading it, you got to really wrap your finger around, because when you load it, maybe your finger's up here. Well, you got to really wrap your finger around, because you won't be able to really position your finger too much once it's attached, because it is duct tape. It is quite sticky. So you do that, you can hold it, and there you go. So that's my trick. It reduced the blistering and increased the amount of time that I can practice with. I will be practicing without the tape, and I recommend that just so that we can build up a callus there, because if you're going to be using this in the woods or whatever, we're going to be shooting it a lot eventually. You don't really want to have to be using the tape, and I don't feel like spending the $70 on a release. So anyway, there you have it. That is my trick right here. Just some tape, fold it over. See, you got a little tab, done shooting for the night. Go ahead, pull it off, Boom. Clean finger. Blister wouldn't be there if I didn't already give myself one. And I mean, you can see how effective it is. I'm still shooting. I have a small blister forming. I'm still shooting after this blister started forming. So it does work. And yeah, I figured that would just be the quick tip to show you guys. And hopefully you like that tip and find it useful. Thanks for watching.